Hi everyone. Hello and welcome to my channel. If you like my page, please like and subscribe. There's a notifications bell down at the corner that will let you know when I'm about to go live. So, first, I want to thank Tara, and Tara has sent a first aid kit to be handed out and a gas grill, which I am really thrilled about. Um, this is extremely lightweight, like really, really lightweight. And I'm just gonna kind of open these so you can see and why these are good supplies for people. Number one, the ability to cook and prepare one's own food is essential to cutting down any cost of food and foregoing food waste. It also offers a way to preserve food if one has the skills or the knowledge to do so. And so we want to make sure that if people do have the knowledge and the skills, that they have the equipment, because equipment can be a little more than out of people's range. So we've got a little cook stove here. The gas connects here. You got your little, I think the controls are on the other side. So there you go. That's the gas grill. And hi, Blair. And we've got the first aid kit. And the first aid kit, that is just, it's like a basic one, but it's really, really wonderful. It's got a cold compress that can be broken and shaken. It's got alcohol pads. It's got little scissors. It's got gauze. Um, it's good for little care and immediate wound care. Oh, okay. Tell her to have a good day, Blair. So, and whoever sent the paper towels, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. So, the subject for today is what happened last night. If any of you got a notification that I went on last night, it was because I was woken up to our building's fire alarms going off, which is a really, it's different than somebody's personal fire alarm going off. And of course, I roll out, go to, and I have a bag now, but I don't have anything packed because I'd given away the stuff. And so I just like, I'm confused and I'm upset. And, Rowan's like right there. Thank goodness she stayed right by my side. And, throwing on clothing, grabbing some sandals and running out the door with Rowan. And the hallways were smoky. It's just chemically, it was icky. I coughed for I don't know how long after I went to bed again. But one of the things that really struck me, and especially struck me today, was that just yesterday I took a class from SAMHSA, which if you don't know, SAMHSA is SAMHA. Yeah. Mental Health Association. Yeah, okay. Substance Abuse and Mental Health. It's like Administrators Association. I don't know all together right now, but look them up. So I was taking a class, and we were talking about, use how to, people who are not able to maintain integrative care, how to do that. And one of the things that was brought up, in the midst of all the discussion, was that people who have been unhoused and get into housing still feel housing vulnerable. And nothing brought that closer, that lesson. Yes, I understand. I am there, I still have those feelings and those thoughts and that worry, not worry. I guess I don't really worry about it. I just, accept the knowledge that everything is so fragile. Um, But last night, I was a little unprepared for my own response. We run out and you see Gypsy, tell her, no, there's smoke, go get the dog. This is for real. Because we've had one other one that was, nothing. And this actually turned out to be okay, just so everyone knows. So I'm outside and I start laughing and I'm like, I'm going to lose it all again. Like, I'm trying to think, like, all right, where are me and Rowan gonna camp out, like, till we get stuff, you know? Because it was just, as long as everybody's safe, It's a thing. And it brought, I started thinking about it, and a lot of people will flippantly say, oh, yeah, of course, everybody's close to homelessness. But are they? Are they? You know, I think that they are. I agree with people when they say that. But I don't think that a lot of people truly grasp what that means. That you have to learn how to not grieve objects or things, even those of sentimental value, and understand that they are just possessions. Um, and always the knowledge that the only constant in life is change and things come and go, and to learn not to hold on and to let those things go. And I'll admit to being laughing, but just laughing in the knowledge that, I knew I was going to be okay. Me and Rowan would be fine. We can walk out with the clothes on our back and we will figure it out. But for those that literally can't, this sets up a cycle of trauma, and that's one of the things that when we talk about people who relive trauma, that's what happens. The trauma of being unhoused, of course, is in the past. I am stable. I'm able to do things. Life has gotten so much better and fulfilling. There are things I'm working up towards, getting myself a little better, but my life is good. But every once in a while, and I think that that's what we mean when, mental illness hits and how trauma affects that. And the thing is I'm sure most of our building went to bed like, oh my gosh, that's so irritating. And I thought it was rather irritating too, because I was like, my apartment better not burn down because someone can't cook. Like literally, I will give you lessons. Like, please don't burn my stuff down because you can't cook. But in the large scope, when this happened last night, we all get back. And I'm coughing, of course, out the chemical ickiness that was whatever that smoke was. Hi, Wesker. Hello. Um, and Blair, I can't cook. Here's the thing, Blair. Anyone can cook. It's a learning process. And it's just trying over and over and over and learning to love it. And I think that's with anything. If we love something that we're doing and we find a way to enjoy it, we get better at it. Hi, John. Hi, Mike. But back to what I was saying. When that happened and I come back and I'm coughing and everything else, I finally, because I'd taken my night meds, went to sleep. And the next day I found myself unable to leave my apartment today. So you see me in my comfy sweatshirt that, when it comes to trauma, those fears and feelings are not necessarily within one's control. And that's when we talk about triggers. And last night was a trigger. It was a trigger that meant that today I don't know what, the feeling is associated or emotion. I don't really have a whole lot of emotion. These days are where it affects my life in a way that negatively hampers the way that I am able to go out and carry my business or do what I do. Yeah, Sherry, I'm safe. Everything turned out okay in the end. But in the end, people like myself or like Gypsy or like a number of people that have been unhoused before will live with that trauma every time a fire alarm goes off, and some of us it'll bother, for different reasons, whatever those reasons are, whatever, really sat with them as the trauma of everything. But for me, it was really, even in camp, I built my safe spot. I built, I made sure that the area was as clean as possible. Living under a bridge is not clean, and it really is a misnomer to say that you could clean anything. um, yeah, I am so glad that we are safe. And Sherry, you definitely have a good perspective of that unsettling feeling, and but that's with any trauma. That's just not, it's not just with that one incident. There's the trauma of being thrown back into some real heavy emotions when I have to call CPS to check and make sure my grandchildren are okay. I was a foster child. That one of the scariest things for me to do is call Child Protective Services, and causes me a great deal of feelings and emotions about that. But it's all of these things when we look at and we say, how does trauma come back? How are those things connected? How can someone have a traumatic situation that's unrelated to the original event and go back to those thoughts and feelings? And that's how that happens. Luckily, I've had a lot of therapy and I'm able to process and deal, but I also know my limits. Like today, I will stay in, I will process everything, I will break it down in my head, and I will apply it. I will apply it in the knowledge that I talk to others about the experiences of permanent supportive housing, why it's important, the thoughts, feelings, actions associated with getting housed after being unhoused, the kind of care that's needed. See, there's so much to learn from these experiences. So I don't even look at it like taking a day off. I'm just taking a day to absorb and process the emotions, because I'll be laughing and probably crying all day, just because I have what's called emotional lability, which means my emotions are in flux all the time. Um, so there's that. But I just wanted to kind of, I thought maybe it was a little ironic to be experiencing a class in where we're discussing this, not the fire alarm, but the particular subject of the the trauma of being unhoused on those that have been housed now, and what that does and the effects that that can have. So I was like, oh, all right. So that's why I named this Lessons in Real Life, because it's interesting, of course, and wonderful to see data and to see numbers, and whether that be qualitative or quantitative data, it's wonderful to have that. But to see it played out in real life is something, another amazing thing. And it's the same thing in harm reduction. And I've gone into that before. Now, I am going to answer any questions here. And I've actually been left a couple questions on previous vlogs. So I'm going to answer those too. The first question I have, and I don't remember the viewer, I'm sorry if I forgot your names, but I was asked, why don't I video when I'm handing out things? Here's the reason why. Number one, it's just me. And to put myself behind a camera while doing outreach not only takes away from the connection I have with people, but it takes away me being able to really get and know people and find out what they need, whether that be for next time or whatever. I do try to, photograph my journey, and that's on Instagram. So following me, of course, which I think is anybody, following somebody on just one form of media can not give someone a whole picture as to what's going on. So I think if you really want to kind of get more in depth, you follow people on different platforms. Of course, make your social sorry. Make your social media time. Make it intentional. Read things that, you can make it what you want. Make it educational. And again, I'm going to say again and again and again. If you ever catch yourself asking the question, why isn't somebody doing A, B, or C? Or how come there's not A, B, or C? Please check and see if there is. There are hundreds of organizations out there that are a little under the radar, or it takes a little searching, or whatever, but almost guaranteed there is someone out there that is trying to do it, and they could use your knowledge and your support and your ideas. We need brain power on this, because the thing is, we have solutions, and we have the solution, and the solution is a combination of different treatments, healthcare, and housing, that makes it so that we fix chronic homelessness and we deal with the trauma that is associated with that, and we are also able to deal with such as disaster events and displacement due to other causes other than trauma, which is funny. I mean, okay, it's all trauma. You get unhoused, it's trauma. I don't even know like how to reword that, but that was worded wrong. Because it's all trauma. It doesn't matter how you've been displaced. It'll affect the rest of your life. And the experiences, of course, that happen while unhoused. Hopefully, people, if they are displaced, will be no matter the reason, will just be displaced for shorter amounts of time, and we can use our funds in an efficient manner, which means looking at the funds already spent, looking at service redundancy that doesn't add anything necessarily, but takes funding, and those are all things that we need to do as far as implementing the solutions and getting them quickly, because science is real, climate change is real, and this is happening now. And we have to prepare our areas for the projected damage. So, all right. Are there any questions from any of you? Anyone? No? Okay. So if you want to support my efforts, definitely join me on Instagram too. The Being Camp Mom, I don't post much on. I usually just post my YouTube onto there. I just kind of do a copy and paste, but I am on Twitter as well. And you can always ask me what organizations are here, but most of the time, find out in your area. Start looking. I think that that's important, is to really, if you want to help, first, know your resources. Know your resources. Oh, that was okay. I'll address that other thing in another episode. So anyhow, thank you, Tara, so much for the supplies. Thank you to the person who sent the paper towels. I will definitely share them with the apartment below, and other people, of course. So, everyone, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. The Amazon wish list is up, the PayPal is up, and just be kind, be wonderful, and have a beautiful day. All right, everyone, bye.